Potential program cuts were announced.
And an exciting concert is coming to campus this weekend.
And I'm John Williams with your full weather forecast.
We have that and more on this edition of 15 News at 5 starts now.
More this edition of 15 News at 5.
15 News at 5.
15 News at 5.
15 News at 5 starts right now.
Thank you for joining us this evening on 15 News at 5. I'm Keaton Lewis.
And I'm Carly Bodinas.
On March 1st, Valparaiso University Provost Eric Johnson announced a list of programs that are being considered for possible discontinuance. 28 programs were announced. 18 are undergraduate and 10 are graduate programs. Key programs of note are the Bachelor of Music in all concentrations, theology major and minor, as well as public health, both undergrad and graduate, for the full list of programs being cut. Visit valpotorch.com. Johnson states that the discontinuance process is a thoughtful review process, and there are several potential outcomes. Not all programs that go through the process may be eliminated. And discontinuing a program does not mean we will not continue to teach courses in that area. Programs on this list may be continued with recommendations for change, program mergers, or complete discontinuance of the program. Johnson stated that if all 18 undergraduate programs listed were to be discontinued, that it would affect roughly 3% of the student population. If a program is discontinued, students in the programs would still be able to complete their degree on time.
Softball coach Megan Pettipiece was arrested for theft last Thursday. According to the police report, Megan Pettipiece was caught stealing merchandise from Walmart. An asset protection employee observed Megan holding multiple items in her hand and only scanning one of the items. She then proceeded to put all of the items in a bag. The Walmart asset protection employee said that he was standing next to Megan at the self-checkout lane while she was checking out because he was training a new asset protection employee and observed the theft. The employee confronted Megan in a vest blue while she was attempting to leave. Megan complied and was detained in the asset protection office. When police arrived, they reviewed surveillance footage of the self-checkout area. The footage showed that Megan did not scan a bundle of asparagus, 2 girl swimsuits, and a clear cup of prepackaged pomegranate seeds, oregel, and plastic Easter grass. There were also 2 hams in her cart that she failed to scan. In total, Megan purchased $176.39 of merchandise, but failed to pay for $67.71 of merchandise. When questioned, Megan was adamant that she did not intentionally fail to scan and pay for items in her cart prior to leaving the store. The asset protection employee requested that Megan be issued a criminal trespass warning, which she signed. The officers arrested Megan for theft, a misdemeanor. She was taken to Porter County Jail and released to staff without incident. Upon search of her belongings in her purse, the Porter County Jail officers located 3 disposable THC vapes. The officer confirmed with Megan that the vape dispensers contained THC. Megan's response was, "I am from Ohio," so the officer informed her that THC is illegal in Indiana. Additionally, 2 unopened blister packs containing Zofran were located in her purse. While talking to officers, Megan indicated that she did not have a prescription for Zofran, which is a controlled substance. She advised officers that she received them from a coworker 2 weeks ago when she wasn't feeling well. At the same time, she informed the officer that she is a Canadian citizen and she is employed as the head softball coach at Valparaiso University. Megan has been charged with theft A misdemeanor, possession of marijuana B misdemeanor, and possession controlled substance A misdemeanor. Megan bonded out of the Porter County Jail on Friday morning last week and coached the softball games this past weekend against Bradley. At this time, no further court dates have been set. On Monday, a press release went out by Interim Director of Athletics, Laurel Hosmer, announcing the resignation of Megan Pettipiece as the head softball coach. Also in the press release, it was announced that assistant coach Lainey Jones will be serving as interim head coach for the remainder of this season. A national search for the program's next head coach will begin at the end of the season, according to the press release.
Tomorrow, April 5th, WVOR is hosting their annual Source Stock event. This year's venue is the Phi Sigma Kappa House Basement. The headliner this year is Tucker Nissel with Kit Lindsay as the opening act. Doors open at 8:15 p.m., with the opener starting at 8:30 and the headliner taking the stage at 9 p.m. All you will need for entry is your one card. Head on over to enjoy some good music.
We have 15 Weather's John Williams in the studio. So John, how is this weekend looking to be?
This weekend is looking to be much drier and much clearer. As we look at our weather headlines, we do have clearing skies that are expecting to happen, especially once we get into tomorrow. We do also have a warm-up that is ahead, and we also have to definitely take a look at the upcoming eclipse. As we look at our current temperatures, 40 here in Valpo, 41 Gary, 42 in Chicago O'Hare, down in Pontiac, 40, Kankakee 39, Rensselaer 39, and Michigan City also at 39 as well. And as we look regionally, really this low pressure system that's been sitting over us for a while has been a key reason why we've just been in this rain, snow, just mess of a weather. But fortunately, it is starting to move out. There's still some lingering products that are a part of it that I'll dive more into and talk more about the weekend. Back to you.
Well, I guess winter doesn't always end right at the start of spring. Somehow made a return again.
That's for sure. But I'm really excited for that warm-up. The weather here has not been fun recently, especially walking around campus.
Yeah, I saw some maybe 70s. We'll see.
Oh, that's exciting. Thanks, John. Coming up, we'll take a look at your Valpo sport. But first, we have some tips and tricks for the upcoming solar eclipse. Find out more after this break.
They're mistakenly thought to be insects, but ticks are actually arachnids, a relative of spiders, and they can transmit dangerous diseases to humans. That's why you want to avoid getting bitten. But these creatures are already out, earlier than usual. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on what to expect for the 2024 tick season.
In the U.S., tick season usually peaks between May and July and then again in the fall. But it's April and the creatures are already out.
They are hungry, so they are looking for their first meal of the year, and they do pose that risk of transmitting infection.
Dr. Bobby Pritt with Mayo Clinic says you can help prevent tick bites. Check your body often, especially after being outdoors. Wear long sleeves and pants and tuck those pants into socks, giving ticks less skin they can bite. And make sure to wear bug spray.
Usually we look for tick repellents that have at least 30% DEET. But there are other chemicals, picaridin, is a very good repellent.
If you do get bitten, Pritt says to not panic. Remove the tick as quickly as possible.
The best way to do that is with tweezers that you can use close to the skin, as close as possible. Grasp the head of the tick as it's going into the skin and just pull it out in a slow, continuous motion, taking care to not squeeze the tick or breaking off the mouth parts if you can help it.
Pritt says if you live in an area where Lyme disease is present and find a swollen tick attached to your skin, consider seeing a doctor, especially if it's been attached for 36 hours or more.
Your doctor can prescribe antibiotics to prevent Lyme disease.
And be aware of the symptoms of Lyme disease, including fever, body aches and pains, upset stomach, severe headache, and fatigue. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Pritt says to avoid home remedies that could make matters worse, including smothering the tick with Vaseline or using a match. She says that will irritate the skin and the tick and potentially increase risk of infection.
Egg prices have been increasing for months, and it could get worse as poultry farms nationwide deal with bird flu outbreaks. The average price for a dozen eggs was $3 in February, up from around $2 in the fall. Prices now are at their highest level since April 2023. Relief may be a long way off. Cal-Maine Foods, America's largest egg producer, said this week it culled about 1.6 million hens and hundreds of thousands of young chickens. Some had tested positive for bird flu at a Texas facility. Cal-Maine produces brands like Eggland's, Best, and Land O'Lakes eggs. The last time bird flu pushed egg prices up, they hit a record of $4.82 early last year. Cal-Maine later reported its profits surged more than 700%.
Millions of Americans are expected to travel to see the total solar eclipse on April 8th. Cities and towns have big crowds. While the boost in visitors is good for local economies, the extra people are expected to cause chaos on the roads and in the skies. Jen Sullivan has some safety tips and warnings for travelers in today's Consumer Watch.
It's a rare event, a total solar eclipse, and millions of Americans are expected to travel to see the awe-inspiring sight on April 8th. But that means more drivers on the roads and more passengers at airports.
You really need to plan ahead and be safe.
Communities from Mexico up to Canada are in the path of totality, meaning the moon will completely cover the sun, creating total darkness during daylight. Some areas like Western New York are expecting 1 million visitors. Elizabeth Carey with AAA has several tips for drivers, like navigating the old-fashioned way with a map, especially if you're traveling in less populated areas.
In a very rural area, you're talking about wilderness with no cell service.
AAA also recommends drivers don't try and watch the eclipse while driving. Have your headlights on. Don't wear your eclipse glasses while driving, and watch out for animals.
It could trigger wildlife to be out and about.
And if you're flying, the FAA is warning travelers to expect long lines and possible delays at airports. Monday's eclipse falls during the busy spring break travel season. The FAA says they're expecting more than 46,000 flights the day after the eclipse. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Be sure to take advantage of this event because the next total solar eclipse in the U.S. won't happen until August 23rd, 2044.
Coming up after the break, John Williams will have your full forecast.
After that, we'll take a look at this past week's Beacon Sports.
As we look at our future temperatures and we head into tonight, you can see 39 here in Valpo and really the upper 30s across the Chicago area. As we advance into Friday morning, we don't drop too much more. We stay for the most part in the upper 30s. As we advance into the day Friday, we are looking to be a little warmer than we are today, low 40s across our viewing area. Heading into Friday night and then early Saturday morning, we're basically at freezing, if not below freezing, but this is where the warm up starts to come in. And one model is showing that our high is in the upper 40s here in Valpo. Some of our southern and then southwest and southeast suburbs could see some lower 50s. As we look at future radar heading into tonight, you can start to see over in Illinois the clearing starting to happen. Still, for the most part, overcast skies across northwest Indiana. As we advance into the overnight hours, the clouds move back into Illinois. And then heading into the morning, we just have overcast skies with a potential for light to possibly moderate rain, but nothing in terms of the severe side or accumulating rain. And then as we advance further into Friday morning, again, you can see more of that rain becoming widespread. Depending on how cold the temperatures get, we could see some freezing rain mixed into it or some light snow showers. And then heading more into the day Friday, you could see more of the clearing starting to head out, and we really just get the last of this low pressure system heading out. Taking a more national look, 87 in San Antonio, 59 Los Angeles, 74 in Denver, 60 in Omaha, 49 in St. Louis. Again, you can see this is some of the warm air that's going to be moving into our area, 42 currently here in Chicago. The look ahead, we take a look tonight, our low is expected to be 36, cloudy with a few passing showers. And then tomorrow we are expecting a high around 43, and again, more cloudy, but we could still have some precipitation left over in the first half of the day. Once we get past mainly noon, it should be clearing out and we should be all good. I have your 7-day forecast for you coming up next.
Honestly, Despite the rain, I'm really excited to see all those flowers bloom around campus. They're already looking gorgeous.
They are. I definitely agree. I've been seeing them all around. They make the day a little bit brighter, especially since it's been so cloudy and rainy, but we have some hope to see that warm air moving up from the south.
Yes.
That is.
I'm ready to bring out those shorts.
Oh, I feel ya.
Yeah. After the break, we'll see what went down with Valpo sports in the last month. The Valpo men's basketball team was unable to win at Murray State on Saturday, February 24th. The Beacons lost 80-68 in a game they were outscored 44-24 in the second half after leading at halftime. Cooper Schweiger led Valpo with 26 points. The Beacons played at UNI on February 27th and unfortunately lost to UNI 68-54. Valpo was down 17 points at halftime and were unable to make up the deficit in the second half. Jerome Palm led Valpo with 14 points. The Beacons were unable to deliver a feel-good victory in the last home game in last regular season against Illinois State at the Arc. The Beacons won 75-72 after holding off an Illinois State rally in the second half. Cooper Schweiger led Valpo with 28 points. The Beacons' season ultimately came to an end versus Belmont in the State Farm Missouri Valley Conference as the Beacons lost 86-61. Isaiah Stafford led all scorers with 20 points. The Valpo men's basketball team ultimately concluded the season with a 7-25 record, going 3-17 in the Missouri Valley Conference. Despite the record this season marked a new beginning for the Beacons. With a young team and now one season under their belt, it will be interesting to see how this team both looks and bounces back next season. We wish them all the best and a well done on playing hard throughout this season.
The Valpo women's basketball team lost to Belmont 83-56 on Thursday, February 22nd at the Arc. Leah Ernest led Valpo with 18 points. To conclude the regular season, the Beacons would proceed to lose at UIC at the Arc 82-59. UNI on the road 78-59, Drake on the road 82-62, Southern Illinois at the Arc 60-51, and Missouri State at the Arc 77-66. The Beacons concluded their overall season with a loss to UIC 79-77. Leah Ernest led Valpo with 23 points. It was a tough season for the Beacons as they finished the season 5-25 overall and 4-16 in the Missouri Valley Conference. Despite the tough season, there was a bright spot in Leah Ernest. Major congratulations are in order for Leah Ernest for being named Academic All-District honoree. We wish both teams all the best on the 2024 to 2025 season next school year.
You know, despite, all of this unfortunate output, I definitely think there is a possibility for a good comeback.
No, I agree. I think we may have had a down year, but they're definitely growing. We have some good players that just need some time to get used to the world of college, and
Lots of learning curves.
It is, for sure. And I think that we'll definitely have good years coming for our basketball team, for sure.
Yeah, definitely keeping up the hope. Coming up, John will have a final look at your 7-day forecast.
So looking ahead at our 7-day forecast, our low pressure system really starts to just completely move out tomorrow, and that'll make way for a very sunny weekend. We will be more on the breezy side on Sunday, but still expected to have perfectly sunny skies. As for the eclipse weather on Monday, it is showing sunny skies with temperatures actually kind of flirting a little bit with the low 70s. And then as we head into next week, Wednesday and Thursday, the clouds do return, and that could be our next best chance for some rain.
Thanks, John. I have a question for you. Are you going to view the eclipse on Monday?
Oh, absolutely. You have to. I mean, I've been telling my friends over and over again, the sun and the moon literally align. You have to go and see that.
Yeah, no,
So,
for
yes.
sure. What about you, Keaton?
I think I will because, considering the next one's in 2044, who knows if I'll make it. I mean, I probably will, but it's probably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
No, that's what I was also thinking, and we're so close to it here in Indiana. Like, we don't know what's going to happen in 20 years from now or where it will
Yeah.
be. So, no, for
Yeah.
sure, I will also be viewing it. So that's super exciting.
For sure. From all of us at VUTV, thank you for joining us this evening.